From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, November the 19th, 2019. We open with response to the U.S. announcement yesterday that Israeli settlements do not violate international law. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited Gush Etzion today and met with settler leaders, saying that the U.S. administration had corrected a historic injustice with the policy reversal. Last night, Netanyahu tweeted that the U.S. policy reflects an historical truth, that the Jewish people are not foreign colonialists in Judea and Samaria, referring to the West Bank. In fact, he wrote, "We are called Jews because we are the people of Judea." The prime minister stressed that Israel remains ready and willing to conduct peace negotiations with the Palestinians, but he tweeted, "Will continue to reject all arguments regarding the illegality of the settlements." Blue and White Party leader Benny Gantz welcomed the U.S. decision and tweeted that the fate of the settlements should be determined by agreements that meet security requirements and promote peace. The Palestinians condemned the U.S. announcement, and the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem issued a security alert warning that individuals and groups opposed to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo's recent announcement may target U.S. government facilities and citizens in the area. And several U.S. Democratic candidates for president weighed in on the U.S. policy shift. Joe Biden's campaign called it an obstacle to peace. Bernie Sanders said Israeli settlements in occupied territory are illegal. He said this is clear from international law and multiple United Nations resolutions. Elizabeth Warren said not only do these settlements violate international law, they make peace harder to achieve, saying that if elected, she would reverse this policy and pursue a two-state solution. Pete Buttigieg called the decision a significant step backward in our efforts to achieve a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Amy Klobuchar said it goes against long-standing U.S. policy, taking us further away from a path to a two-state solution. Pro-Israel lobby AIPAC said that it does not take a position on settlements. "We believe settlements," they said, "should be an issue for direct negotiations between the parties, not something determined by international bodies," adding that the Palestinians must stop their boycott of U.S. and Israeli officials and return to direct talks. And CEO of the American Jewish Committee, David Harris, said the announcement relates to a question of international law, which has been repeatedly used as a weapon against Israel on the world stage. He said, "We hope the policy shift will prompt a long overdue correction in international perceptions. At the same time," Harris said, "we trust it will not serve as a predicate for increased settlement activity beyond the established blocs, widely expected to be recognized as part of Israel in any conceivable two-state compromise." Looking now at some other news in Israel, last-ditch efforts to form a unity government are underway, with the deadline given to Benny Gantz to form a coalition up tomorrow, Wednesday, at midnight Israel time. Gantz met with Netanyahu late tonight to that end. The two last met on October the 27th, shortly after Gantz was given the mandate by Israel's President Reuven Rivlin. Earlier today, the negotiating teams of Blue and White and Likud also sat down together. Rivlin, meanwhile, held his own meetings with party leaders, including with Netanyahu, at his residence in Jerusalem today. And 4 rockets were fired at northern Israel last night from Syria. The IDF said all 4 were intercepted by the Iron Dome. California Democrats rejected what was referred to by some as a highly flawed anti-Israel amendment to their party's platform, presented Sunday at the party's fall convention. It called for the right of return for Palestinians and removed references to the two-state solution. It also, by the way, advocated for the return of Jewish refugees from Arab lands. The platform that was adopted calls for a two-state solution directly negotiated by the parties that guarantees equality, security, and democracy for all, recognizing Israel's future as a secure and democratic Jewish state with recognized borders, and providing Palestinians with independence, sovereignty, and dignity. It also says the decision to relocate the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem should not remove Jerusalem from final status negotiations, nor should the capital city be used to undermine the peace process. And it continues to reject the BDS boycott, divestment, and sanctions campaign against Israel. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, November the 19th at 7 o'clock, Gil Troy discusses the need for a new kind of Zionism. At 8, Dr. Paul Mendy's Floor talks about the early life of Jewish philosopher Martin Buber and his relationship to Zionism and Jewish spirituality. That's with Rabbi Elliot Cosgrove. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Rabbis Uri Regev and Mitchell Wahlberg on L'chaim. At 10:30, Orthodoxy and feminism is discussed at the JOFA conference. And coming up right after this newscast, the ILTV's Election Arena. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, November the 19th, 2019. I'm Teisha Bader.